Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you've gotten all of your equipment together for our brownies and you've got it all set off to the side, ready to use. Now we're going to get all of our ingredients together. So you want to make sure that you've got your ingredient list, and what I'd like you to do is pull out everything so that it's all sitting on the counter right in front of you, just like this. Everything, the whole box, the whole shot. What we're going to do is we're going to separate it out and get exactly what we need in our recipe, separate it into bowls so that we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and start. My recipe is right down here, so I'm going to be glancing down every once in a while to make sure that I've got what we need. All right, so starting out, we need 2 squares of chocolate. Now, I am using baker's chocolate. This you could just pick up in the grocery store, and it calls for 2 squares. So we're going to pull out 2 squares of chocolate. Here we go. All right, now mine is already broken. But if you take a look at this, you'll see 1 square of chocolate. This one's separated out a little bit differently. Let me bring it up for you here so you can kind of see how this is. There we go. All right, so 1 square of chocolate would be considered 2 of these little bricks. So we're going to go ahead and separate this out so that we've got 2 full squares of chocolate ready to go. And I've got that right here. I'm going to go ahead and just set that in a dish, and then we can put the chocolate away. We're done with that for now. All right, next up, we need 1 stick of butter. We've got that right here, and now that is ready to go. Okay, we are going to need 2 eggs, so go ahead and pull out 2 eggs. I'm going to put those in a bowl and just set those aside. Now, the only reason I'm putting them in a bowl is so that they don't go rolling all over the counter. All right, next up, we need to have 1 cup of sugar. Now, the way that I keep my sugar is in a container like this, but you might just have it in the bag. That's completely normal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 cup. I've got a measuring cup right here and a bowl right here in front of me. We're going to do 1 cup of sugar. Now, whenever you're using a measuring cup like this, you want the sugar to be all the way to the top and flat, not mounded out. So, I don't know if you can see that, but that's flat on the top. Then we're just going to go ahead and pour that into our bowl. So we've got our sugar. Next, flour. We need to have a 1/2 cup of flour. Again, take your measuring cup, your 1/2 cup measuring cup. Now you can pour a heaping mound on top and then take a knife and just scrape it off the top so that it's nice and flat. That's what we're looking for whenever we measure flour. There we go. Okay, now this recipe is kind of funny because it calls for a dash of salt and a dash of vanilla. So, a dash of salt usually is just like a shaker that you go like this, just like that, like that. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to come around here and we'll see if you can see it. It's about that much in your hand, maybe about the size of a dime. That ought to do it. Okay. Here we go. So I've got a really little tiny bowl that I'm going to put my salt in. That's my dash of salt. Now we're going to do the same thing with the vanilla. So the vanilla here, we're going to do a dash of vanilla. Okay, so take your vanilla, and you ready? We're going to go just, boop. That's it. That's all we should need. I personally think you can't really put in too much vanilla, but if you want to get really specific with it, you can use your measuring spoons here, and I would say you could probably use about a 1/2 of a teaspoon, up to a 1/2 of a teaspoon. If you use a little bit less, that would be fine. All right, so now we've got all of our ingredients right here and ready to go. Next up, I want you to go ahead and put away all of your big containers of ingredients because they don't need to be in our way. So we're going to stop the video. I'll let you put everything away and get everything together here, and we'll be back to put the brownies together in just a minute.